Welcome to our weekly roundup of key economic and business developments in Sri Lanka. I'm Nishani Pigera, and here are this week's top stories. President addresses UN General Assembly. Port City gears for official launch. GDP shrinks 3.1% in second quarter. In our top story this week, on Thursday, President Ranil Wickremesinghe addressed the United Nations General Assembly in New York. His speech was based on the theme Rebuilding Trust and Reigniting Global Solidarity. In a series of high-profile meetings, President Wickremesinghe met with Sheikh Hasina, Prime Minister of Bangladesh, who expressed her surprise that Sri Lanka paid back its dues to the country so fast. The president also met Samantha Power, Administrator of USAID. Discussing Sri Lanka's social programs under the Aswesuma project, the president expressed his appreciation to the USAID for its assistance during the financial crisis. The president also engaged in high-level discussions with World Bank President Ajay Banga, focusing on economic reforms, agriculture, tourism, and digitization. Moreover, the president attended a roundtable discussion on economic opportunities in Sri Lanka, where he was joined by over 40 members of private companies from the United States. According to State Minister Dilum Amunugama, the official launch of Colombo Port City is scheduled for the 26th of September in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Former UK Prime Minister David Cameron is slated to promote the Colombo Port City at an exclusive event. According to the Daily FT, Cameron is to highlight the role of Sri Lanka in the new Indo-Pacific economy and emphasize that now is the time to invest in the Colombo Port City. Minister Amunugama further added that the Colombo Port City has received 17 investment proposals and is currently awaiting regulatory approval to commence operations. The Sri Lankan economy contracted 3.1% during the April to June quarter. This was an improvement from the negative 11.5% recorded in the first quarter of the year. In the second quarter, the agriculture sector expanded 3.6%, while industry and services sectors fell 11.5% and 0.8% respectively. The central bank projects gross domestic product will shrink by 2% this year, having contracted 7.8% in 2022. Dimantha Matthew, head of research at First Capital, speaking to Reuters, said that the contraction is slowing down and analysts expect a return to growth from the third quarter. On Tuesday, Sri Lanka signed the Instrument of Accession to the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons at the United Nations headquarters. Ali Sabri, Minister of Foreign Affairs, said that Sri Lanka, by becoming the 69th state party to the treaty, has once again reaffirmed its long-standing commitment towards nuclear disarmament in favor of international peace and security. Nuclear weapon-ready neighbors India and Pakistan did not sign the treaty. In our weekly tourism update, during the first 17 days of September, 65,688 tourists arrived in the country. This pushed the year-to-date visitor numbers to over 970,000, 35% higher than last year's full 12-month arrivals. Daily arrivals stayed low compared to recent months, falling to 3,864. Sri Lanka expects to welcome over 120,000 visitors in September. Meanwhile, arrivals from India continue to increase at a steady pace and are now at almost 27% of the month's arrivals. Now let's take a look at the weekly movement of the All Share Price Index and the S&P SL20 Index at the Colombo Stock Exchange. In other market news, SoftLogic Holdings plc bought the manufacturing license and distribution rights and exclusive retail franchise rights of the renowned international brand Bata and the Footwear Retailer Limited. The value of the transaction was 293 million rupees. At the Treasury bill auction held on Wednesday, yields on 182-day maturities expanded. Bids amounting to 255 billion were received, of which 170 billion rupees were accepted. The Sri Lankan rupee was steady against the dollar this week, with the central bank's indicative mid-spot rate ranging between 323 and 324. And with that, we wind up for this week. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel at the link below for more updates on economic and business developments in Sri Lanka. Until we see you again next week, thank you for watching. Stay safe.